let's start with the Knicks. Are they true NBA Finals contenders? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Joshua, thumbs up. Why do you say that?
Yeah, I've been out on the Knicks for a while. It's a team that I hadn't believed in. I just didn't think that they had it in terms of what they were made of, not from a talent standpoint, but from a mentality standpoint. It's the guy that we're seeing up there on the screen right now, though, in Jalen Brunson. And I think that he has been a difference maker for this team. The way that he has played, it's an all-star level. He deserves to be in that game, certainly. But I think that people are starting to rally and really believe in themselves and what they can become this year. And so I think that they'll be in it, in the mix. I'm not saying that they're one of the top teams, but if you get the right matchup in a playoff series, I could see them knocking off a couple of them and eventually making it to the finals.
I think you make some good points.
Yeah, I'm not like fully sold on the Knicks yet. I do think that they've always been in the conversation over the last few seasons there. They just can't get over that hump. But adding a guy like OG Anunoby, he has been huge for this team. Their defense has really stepped up since the beginning of January here. And when OG and Jalen Brunson, the guy that you were talking about, when they are both on the floor, they're 11-1 here. So they need both of those guys to really stay healthy. Obviously, it's a hit with Julius Randle out, but I think those two guys, they can carry them. I just don't know if they are a finals team quite yet.
Julius Randle being out might be also something that's helping them.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if we've had enough sample size to really tell, but yeah, you're not wrong there. All right, let's get to the Bucks. You were talking about them a little bit earlier, Joshua, with Doc Rivers. Are they true NBA final contenders? All right. Okay. Why thumbs up?
I place value on being there, and it's also why getting there before. And that's also why I had a thumbs down for the Knicks is, I feel they have some room to improve, but there's a gap between improving and actually getting over the hump. The Bucks and Giannis, that man has a ring already, right? And there's something to be said for what that means come playoff time. I understand it hasn't looked perfect for the Bucks, but at the end of the day, your best players take over in the playoffs. I'll bet on that for the Bucks.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Dame, you love to have that guy around, and he's a guy who has talked about his desire to win at the highest level and be a champion. You mentioned Giannis and what he's done in the past. And so I feel confident in what they can do from an offensive standpoint. But the biggest thing that happens in the playoffs is teams actually start playing defense. They value getting stops in the postseason, and they have not proven to me that they are a great defensive team, and hopefully Doc Rivers can flip that around. If they can't, that's going to be the biggest issue, but I know they can score with the best of them.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely there with a defense, but this is a team based off of their experience. They know how to get to the finals. They have won a championship there, so, with Giannis and that experience there, that they can use that to their advantage, and that's why I think they could be contenders, but they definitely need to step up on the defensive end of the floor here. But the team that has zero experience in the finals. How about the Thunder? But they are probably one of the most intriguing teams so far in the NBA. So with that, do you think that they can really contend? Holding it up. All right. Who?
You said team.
Yep.
Team. They're a team.
Yeah,
they are a team, right? And I get it. They still have, star power. And what I appreciate about the Thunder is the vision this organization has had for many, many years. And it feels like it's all finally coming together. I get my argument for the Knicks is I haven't seen them do that. I get this as a contradiction to that. But what I've seen is it just feels like this team is full of young, hungry stars that will grow into bigger stars and are ready to take that leap.
I'm there with you. You got a guy who's a potential MVP. You need somebody like that, super aggressive as he's getting to the hoop. Chet Holmgren has been really good, and so I like what they've done. And I agree with you. There's a balance between not having been there before, but also being young and hungry and not dwelling on the mistakes that you make along the way. And I feel like it's a really resilient roster that they have of young guys who, they're up for the challenge.
Yeah.
And so I trust them as we get closer and closer to the postseason.
They're one of the best teams, not only in the West, but in the league here. They have quality wins. So, it's not just a fluke, right? They're beating good teams here. I'm going to be watching them at the trade deadline, which is, it's here, right? Yep. So, I think they have a lot of capital. They can trade some draft picks there because their starting lineup has been okay and they've been kind of dominated at the glass there. But this is a team, and I know Shams has talked about, do they want to disrupt the chemistry that they have here? But they could use some extra pieces just to really take them to the next level. So you have to find a balance, and it can be delicate. But let's get to the Clippers. This is a team that has been playing really well on the offensive end of the floor, especially. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you think that they can contend? Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's hear why.
Because they're the Clippers, and because it's Paul George, and because it's James Harden. You know, look, I have seen it. I have seen it in the playoffs. And what have I seen? Losses, folding in the biggest moment. You know, you rely on your best players to play their best games. What happens to James Harden in Game 7 when they need him? Goodbye. You know, goodbye.
Yeah.
I get. Look, they do this. There's jokes. You know, I'm a Lakers fan because of LeBron. The Clippers hang the in-season champion, the regular season champion trophies in their stadium. They are just, until I see them get over that hump and compete for a championship, I won't believe it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, we've seen James Harden choke in the biggest moments. Totally understand that. The way that this thing is coming together, I personally did not have belief in what they would be able to do. But watching Kawhi play the way that he has played, watching James Harden go out there and do the things that he needs to do for the team's success, and that's being a distributor and not necessarily shooting the ball a ton. Russell Westbrook and him
He's playing really well.
Yeah, and he made a decision too. It's like, okay, well, sometimes I got to come off the bench, and I'm perfectly fine with that because it equates to wins. I don't know. This could be different. It could be totally different. And we're looking at a bunch of guys, too, who want to get a ring, because we're talking about some of these dudes, and it's like, all right, what have you done?
Yeah.
And they're trying to prove what they can do.
Yeah, they have the experience on their side. They have guys that have had deep runs on different teams. But for this team, it's all about health. They're playing really well right now, but they need Russell Westbrook. They need Kawhi Leonard. They need those guys, James Harden, to stay healthy. Okay, let's get to the Timberwolves. NBA contenders, thumbs up, thumbs down. That's real quick.
I don't think I trust them.
I don't trust him either.
So you flip-flopping.
We sold you on that.
I was like paying attention to what you guys were saying. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced. Although they are playing really well right
They
now.
are.
I don't
Karl
know if they're
Anthony Towns is not the guy that I feel like I want to trust late in the year.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, I feel like he's going to give it his best. But Cat,
Playoffs are different. It's almost a different sport, right? You don't. Depth doesn't
it's
matter in the
always
playoffs. It's your
different.
7-8 best players that they need to get you home. So, Karl Anthony Towns, he's not perfect. Listen to this one. Nobody's perfect.
Oh.